Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. Let me drop this camera down a little bit. Oop, a little too far. Let's raise it back up a little bit. There we go. Tonight was AEW Dynamite from the same building they ran last week in Chicago, Illinois. They are halfway through the residency because they're doing 6 shows. So and this is the 3rd show. Now we got 3 more to go. We got Collision this weekend, Dynamite next weekend, and then the following Collision. And it's just like, we'll get into it later, but they're going from 26,000 in attendance watching Moxley and Hangman in a death match to next week they're going to do less than 1,200 in a straight up singles match. Oh, now I get what you're going to say, but it's different because everyone's banned from ringside, where at the pay-per-view they weren't. Sure, but there's not deathmatch rules. So if I see one fork, if I see one chain, heck no. Hell no. I'll get into it and why I do not like this booking and why I was bored with 90% of this show. Other than FTR versus Jet Speed, I was literally bored throughout the rest of this Dynamite. B-O-R-E-D, bored. That's how much I didn't care for this show. It was not that good. And then we go from Moxley telling MJF, oh, I'm not just giving out title shots. You got to either use that cash in or earn it. But then he shows up at the end of the show, and maybe he meant I'm not just going to give you a title shot. Maybe that's what he meant, and I didn't take it like that. But he literally said he's not handing out title shots, and then just handed out one to Moxley, who hasn't done anything since the pay-per-view other than lose. Like, unless I missed something on Collision, Jon Moxley, since the pay-per-view, worked, he worked the match last week, the trios match, where the Death Riders lost. Like, are you kidding me? And he's just getting another title match? Just getting a shot? Yeah, okay, because that makes fucking sense. But I'll get into it when it's the right time. Because there's a couple of things on this show where I'm just like, you wasted our time with all of that for that? Or that makes no sense? And it's just, oh, God, freaking Tony Khan and his booking. Or lack of, with that damn tournament for the tag title shot. But with all that, we'll get into it here in a moment. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you want to help us out, you can do so over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos when we go live and when we post to the community tab. If you want to support us in another way, you can do so by becoming a channel member and hitting that join button. Hit the join button to get a badge next to your name. Emotes and emojis next that you're able to use in the live chat and in the comment section. And depending on which tier you sign up for, you get access to our tutorials, our graphics tutorials, and our graphics packages. It's something nobody else is giving you. Teaching you Photoshop, and then you can take that knowledge and go make money with it by charging people to make them stuff in Photoshop. What other wrestling channel, what other wrestling outlet is teaching you a skill that can create you a career? I don't know of any. With that, also, if you are watching on YouTube and you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Right now, they are doing the Epic Summer Sale throughout the end of the month. So if you want to go get anything there, you can do so. Also, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is now available. You can get that game. Or maybe you want to get the Fantastic Four in Fortnite. Fantastic Four drop this Friday. All 4 of them, because they're the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. We got Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And we got Ben Grimm, the Thing. All available with their own emotes, with their own pickaxes and a glider for all of them to use. So very, very fun, very, very cool. And when you do buy them in Fortnite, use this code, PW Unlimited. Go to the bottom of the store. It's going to say you have a creator code, and you do. It's right here. It's PWU NLIMITED. So as far as this Dynamite does go, as I scroll back over to my notes, getting off the Epic Games Store page. So Dynamite comes on the air with Excalibur telling us, breaking news, we have a tag team title eliminator tournament. And I'm like, okay, this could be cool. They're actually using the eliminator term properly, because it's like using the eliminator term for a tournament is perfect. Using the eliminator term for a just random non-title match with the champion? No. Anyways, he said that we were doing a tournament with 8 teams. Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 8 teams. 8 teams. And the winners, well, no. Let me look really fast. Did he say the winners are getting a tag title shot at Forbidden Door, or the finals are at Forbidden Door? Because I just put I wrote in my notes, Excalibur announces AEW Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament. Forbidden Door, the end. I don't know why I wrote it like that, but now I confused myself. Let me see really fast. Tag. Let me see if maybe it says it on the graphic or something. Winners receive a World Tag Team Title match at Forbidden Door. Okay, so it's not that the finals are at Forbidden Door. The winners get a Tag Team Title shot at Forbidden Door. That's what it is. I had to go back and look at the graphic. Gotcha. I confused myself there. But again, they made it confusing with only telling us, oh, FTR and Jet Speed are in this tournament. Who else? Oh, we'll let you know on Saturday once you figure it out. This idiot, fucking Tony Khan, is going to come on the air and go, we got a tag team title eliminator tournament, right? But we don't know who we want to put in it yet. Oh, we can tell you the Guns won't be in it because Colton's injured. He came back and is immediately injured. But yeah, this guy who only announced 3 things before the show went on the air, and only announced that 3rd thing like maybe an hour and a half before the show went on the air. Like, we're sitting here all week going, what we got on Dynamite? Oh, 2 matches. 2 matches. Like, the build of this Dynamite sucked. The build and hype up for this tag tournament sucks, because it's like, who's in this tournament? Especially if it's Forbidden Door. You would think you'd want to tell us, hey, got AEW wrestlers. Hey, maybe it's got some New Japan wrestlers, because it's Forbidden Door. Are we even going to get any New Japan wrestlers in this tournament? That's the big question. This fucker is going to announce a tournament and not even know who all he wants in the tournament. And then says, oh, come back on Saturday to find out the rest of the brackets. Okay. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 3 days away. It's going to take you 3 more days to figure out who's in this tournament. When did Tony come up with this idea? 45 minutes before the show went on the air or something? And then he goes, oh shit, who do we actually have? Who's actually like cleared? We know Jet Speed and FTR. Throw them in a match tonight and then we'll figure the rest out. That's what it feels like. Like an hour, 45 minutes before this show, he came up with the idea and we get light bulb. Hey, let's do this, but I got no plan yet. We'll go for it. Like, come on, guy. Come on. A tag title tournament. Or a number 1 contenders tournament. Where you got a lot of good teams that you want to build up to Hurt Syndicate, but then you can't tell us everybody in the thing. And I bet you he's not telling us, maybe not even because he doesn't know, because it's like, well, FTR is going to win it because we already told everyone they're going to win it because they faced off with Hurt Syndicate tonight. So they fucking probably 99% already spoiled who's winning this tournament. But anyways, and so it's just like, oh, we'll just throw random other teams in there. Like if we look at the AEW roster, I'll pull it up here on the screen. Who else could even be in this tournament? What other teams do we have? And I guess I also got to pull up the ROH roster. Because, you know, he can pull from either. But let's pull this up on the screen really fast. As far as the AEW roster goes and teams, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could do Hobbs and Shibata. Joe's off right now. He's doing press and stuff for Twisted Metal, which I can't wait for season 2 of Twisted Metal. But as we look here, you got the Crew, Action Andretti, and Leo Rush. Dark Order, but I doubt it. You're not doing the Guns because they're injured. Premier Athletes. Again, we need 14 or we need 8 teams. I don't think they're one of them. Big Bill and Brian Keith, maybe. Gates of Agony should be in this. Or as Ricochet said, they're just GOA now. GOA. Still looking, Hellhounds. They can't do that because Buddy's hurt. I mean, you can do Nick Wayne. They did state that they want to show what they can do. No longer caged. So maybe Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. But if we just keep looking, Top Flight, I guess. Maybe you put Dustin and Sammy in here because they're the ROH Tag Team Champions, the Sons of Texas. Like I'm looking, it's just like Private Party. Nope, they're banned. They're not banned. They're benched. You can do any members of Don Callis family, I guess you could say. Any 2 members of that. Lance Archer and Josh Alexander, maybe. Or Josh Alexander and Kyle Fletcher, or Lance Archer and Kyle Fletcher. I guess you can maybe do 2 members of Shane Taylor Promotions. I would hope not, but you got MXM. Kingdom, we haven't seen them in forever. Who knows what they're doing? Young Bucks, I would like to see the Young Bucks in this tournament. Give us another top tier team, but I don't think so. Just keep looking though, and it's like who? The Outrunners should be in this tournament, yeah. Then we look at the ROH roster. And it's like, who's even in, like, why is Claudio on here? Because he was a former ROH champion, I guess. Christopher Daniel, no, come on. Cole Carter, what are you gonna do? Him and Griff Garrison and the frat boys, frat party, whatever, they suck. It's like, yeah, you got teams. You also don't have anybody that anyone thinks can win over FTR. Especially with the angle they did that we'll talk about here in a moment with FTR already going at it with the Hurt Syndicate. So now they've got beef there. And it's like, yeah, FTR's, I'd put money that FTR's winning this tournament. And then there's just a bunch of goobs left in this tournament. Renee Paquette approached Hangman Paige backstage, asking why he took his match with Wheeler Yuta tonight, despite not being in the best condition after the past few weeks. I mean, you could have asked him the same stupid-ass question last week. Oh, why are you in this trios match against the Death Riders? You already toppled the Death Riders at All In. Because he's fucking dumb. Paige brought up Death Riders attacking his friend Colt Cabana on Collision and him wanting revenge tonight. When have we, and granted, they could be friends off camera, when have we ever seen anything of Hangman and Colt? Now, granted, if we're talking BTE, which is that even canon? Colt was part of Dark Order. Hangman was the guy that Dark Order looked up to. So it's like, but he said he wants revenge for what they did to Colt Cabana. MJF then walks in and calls Hangman Seabiscuit and says, hey, well, I want to fight you for the title. Why don't you give me a shot at the world title? And Paige is like, no. Max, you're a child, a facade, and a gutless coward. I'm not giving you a title shot. You're either going to earn it or you're going to use that contract to face me for it. Like, I'm not giving away title shots. And maybe I heard him wrong and he just said, I'm not giving you a title shot. But I heard, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not just giving away, handing out title shots. That's what I thought I heard him say. Something along those lines. But as far as the show does go, opening up the show, we did get Adam Hangman Paige versus Wheeler Yuta. Now, this match wasn't bad or anything, but I go into it knowing, I'm like, Yuta's not beating the champion. Yuta is not beating Hangman. Especially they told us he wasn't beating Hangman from the jump because it wasn't even an eliminator match like the Tony Storm match later. Like, at least when it's an eliminator match, no one believes that the non-champion's gonna win, but at least there's some sort of, ooh, maybe they could, but I doubt it. This is wholeheartedly, I doubt it. Yuta attacked Paige during his entrance as he ran in from the crowd and hit a dive before Paige quickly gained control as the match officially began. He hit a springboard lariat to the floor, chucking Yuta into the barricade, Hangman that is. Back inside the ring, Paige lit Yuta up with some chops and a Death Valley driver for a near fall. Yuta raked at the eyes and kind of got control, but ran into a huge lariat and a buckshot, giving Paige the quick, dominant victory. Like nothing really happened in this match. It was all mostly post-match. Paige grabbed a chain, and he went to use it like how he won at All In. He cracked Yuta with it. He delivered punches to Yuta, and Yuta was busted open. Like, by the time this whole segment ended and Paige was walking up the ramp to the back, Yuta was just dripping blood from his face. I don't know exactly what happened and how, like, where the cut was, but, like, he was, like, laying there like this, kind of, you know, whatever, and, like, just blood all over his arms and everywhere. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. No regard for anybody's goddamn safety. He just busting him fucking open, bleeding buckets. And it's like Triple H said, and I'm not trying to be, oh, you're sounding like a WWE show with this one. It's like Triple H said, you use the blood when it's warranted. You overuse it and it doesn't mean anything. And fucking Yuta here dumping buckets. I look at that and just go, oh, Hangman whooped his ass. I don't even react to the blood. The blood does nothing for me because they bleed so often in this company. Now, if it was just a little bit of blood every so often and whatnot, I'm like, oh, damn, he's really dumping buckets here. Dang. But for him to be bleeding like that and me just not even reacting shows you that they overuse the blood. He says that's how Adam Cole got injured. Well, that's how Adam Cole got injured? Are you guys saying something else in the chat? Adam Cole was injured due to concussion, though. What are you talking about, though? Like the Yuta thing? That's different. If you're trying to say me talking about the Yuta busting him open to whatever, that's not the same thing at all. Anyways, so Yuta's busted open. Crowd's chanting, you deserve it at him. You deserve it. He deserves to be fucking dripping blood like this. Like, I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And maybe it's because I'm not a hardcore guy. I'm not a deathmatch guy. I'm not a GCW style guy. I don't know. But like, it's just, here's the perfect way to put it. I'm numb to blood now because AEW uses it so often. When somebody bleeds in AEW, it's just like, oh, okay. Go. Elite says they were not careful with wrestlers. That's not true because Adam Cole took a just normal clothesline from Kyle Fletcher. It was not a reckless clothesline. It was not anything out of the norm. It was just a normal clothesline. Maybe it was a little stiffer than normal. I don't know. But if you go back and watch it, it was just a normal clothesline. And Hangman, or not Hangman, but Cole himself actually kind of took a not normal bump. He kind of like took the clothesline and like his body turned and then he came back on the back of his head. Instead of just going down flat with it, his like body turned a little bit. So if you want to blame anybody and we're not playing the blame game, you can almost say Cole just didn't take the bump right for it and bumped his head. Like I wouldn't put that on Kyle Fletcher. I wouldn't. But yeah, like this did nothing for me. This did nothing for me. You're supposed to think, oh my God, he took out Wheeler Yuta. He beat the shit out of him. He's bleeding buckets. He's eliminated. He's gone. He won't show back up. Well, first off, we got Yuta later. Commentary even said it. Commentary's like, oh, like when Moxley was out there and whatever, Wheeler Yuta ain't going to be the one coming back out. We saw he got beat down earlier. Yeah, really? Okay. Anyways. we go in the back, and I'm like, ooh, Athena and Billy Starks. What the fuck? I can't take any of this seriously when Athena's got this fucking shark fin on her head. Like, are you fucking kidding me? She's supposed to be having Billy Starks cut this serious promo about, I'm going to beat Toni Storm's ass tonight. I'm going to earn myself a title shot, but then maybe I just let the forever champion take the shot instead, even if I beat Toni Storm. Because what does AEW stand for? Athena Elite Wrestling. And then, like, Billy Stark's over here cutting a great promo, and Athena's walking behind her with this fucking shark fin on her head. And I'm like, are you goddamn kidding me? She looks so dumb, and I can't take her seriously. And I love Athena. I'm a huge Athena fan. Been an Athena fan since she was Ember Moon in WWE. But it's like, really? You want to be goofy? In this serious moment, you want to be goofy? With the fucking shark fin? I get it. It's Shark Week. Shark Week sponsoring the show. No. Didn't do it. Didn't do it for me. Now, what did do it for me, the best thing on the show, this was a goddamn excellent tag team match. It was FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, against Jet Speed, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. This match was awesome. Like, I loved this match. Best thing on the show. By miles. So Stokely Hathaway came out on crutches. He was all taped up, selling the spear from Copeland. And he good thing. Good thing. Is he Cope or is he Adam fucking Copeland? Which one is he? When he comes out and gets introduced, rated R superstar Cope. But then, like, Stokely's over here calling him Adam Copeland, and Excalibur's calling him Copeland. What the fucking name is it? What the fucking name is it? Is it Cope or Copeland? Because even on the graphic for last week, it said Adam Copeland. Like, this company doesn't know what they want in any moment. In one moment, he's Cope. The next moment, he's Adam Copeland. He's Cope again. He's Copeland. Like, what the fuck? But as far as this match goes, this match was fucking great. FTR tried the Shatter Machine early on Bailey, but Knight made the save, and Bailey nearly got a schoolboy for her, too. There's a thrust kick and a German suplex combo on Harwood, who still hasn't taken his ring jacket off. Thinking, we're going to end this early. Jet Speed hit some dueling dives. Bailey came up limping in the process. And they showed multiple replays, so I assume he's okay. He worked the rest of the match. He was fine. There's knife edge chops from Harwood back inside on Bailey. As Tad said, it's a good way to lose an areola. I'm like, holy shit, Taz, what kind of comment is that? He was like chopping him right in the chest, like knife edge chops. And blah, blah. And Taz is like, that's a good way to lose an areola. I'm like, fuck. Taz also said those chops are so hard you could probably hear them all the way in Champaign. But Harwood wanted a pile driver on the floor, and Bailey hit a backdrop on both FTR members as Bailey leapt for a tag to Knight, and things went to a commercial break. Back from the break, Knight fought off a powerplex as Bailey laid out Wheeler with a top rope Hurricane Rana. There were dueling missile drop kicks from Jet Speed that led to a pendulum DDT by Knight on Harwood for a 2. Knight went for a splash on Harwood, and at the same time, Bailey hit a springboard moonsault outside on Wheeler. Harwood responded with a dragon screw in the ropes, zoning in on the leg inside the ring. Harwood then tried to get a fan to high-five him, instead flipped him off before sinking in a figure 4 around the post. Yet Harwood left himself open for Bailey to light him up with some kicks as he's hanging there. Wheeler then took out Bailey's bad leg. There was more dragon screws back inside the ring to Knight as Harwood sank in the sharpshooter. Wheeler locked on one on Bailey inside the ring, but Knight got to the ropes to break the hold. And yeah, very cool little sequence there. I think Bailey also had a shooting star press for a 2 at one point. Things then returned from the second break with Bailey hitting a wild corkscrew springboard moonsault right in front of the commentary table. Bailey rolled through a shooting star press attempt back inside the ring, but fired off a punt kick to Harwood, followed by a standing shooting star double knees for a near fall. There's machine gun kicks that ramped up as Knight made the tag to hit the Doomsday elevated drop kick. Wheeler broke up the count though. Wheeler was backdropped clear over the ring attendant's table, just sent flying as Bailey leapt over it onto Wheeler. Back inside the ring, Knight tried the UFO splash, but Harwood got his knees up. There was an inside cradle here, only for Knight to kick out at 2. Harwood tried to do a bounce back powerbomb, but Knight got a roll up for a near fall. Bailey tried to fly in with a Hurricane Rana, but Harwood was successful with the bounce back powerbomb. Knight and Harwood then traded pin attempts as Stokely held his crutch for Harwood to hold on to and steal the pin, basically for the leverage. So FTR defeats Jet Speed and moves on in this tournament to face God knows who. God knows who. I don't even think God knows because Tony don't know. So post-match, Tony Schiavone reluctantly, didn't want to, but did, got in the ring to interview FTR, and he asked them about Adam Copeland. And he said Copeland, Adam Copeland. And Stokely said Adam Copeland. Stokely got booed and said that Copeland belongs in prison after what he did and had no business putting his hands on him last week. He said Adam Copeland is a loser, a horrible human being, and a cancer to AEW. And then Copeland's music plays. Stokely's over here yelling, cut off the damn music. Cut off that stupid music. Cut that stupid music off. Stokely said last week he made it clear Copeland is not allowed to be in the vicinity of FTR. And Copeland goes, oh, yeah, I didn't forget that. I made a deal with some guys that are going to fight him for me that like to hurt people. Now come the fucking Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate. The heel group is helping the Babyface against the heel tag team. What? So they're the APA now. You need someone beat up? We're for hire. What the fuck? They're just the APA now, and they run down, they come down. It's no MJF either. Just Bobby, Shelton, and Montel. Come down, they jump in the ring, they start fighting with FTR. Referees hit the ring soon after, and they try to separate the four. Little success. Hurt Syndicate stand tall on the ramp as Copeland tried to hit another spear on Hathaway, who pulled a security guard in the way to take the bullet. Copeland then stared down FTR from the ring as they slowly retreated. What? So the Hurt Syndicate are baby faces, and they're guns for hire? Sure. Cool. And there's no MJF. We learn later they don't even want MJF. What the fuck? We wasted all this time. Like, let's fast forward really fast. No, we can't because we can. Fast forward really fast to that fucking MJF segment later. So Renee Paquette's in the back with the Hurt Syndicate, and she's like, hey, what's up with this partnership with Copeland? And they're just like, hey, if he wants to pay us to do his dirty work. And MJF just walks in and goes, yo, what was that? What was all that earlier? Like, you're just doing things without me? He's like, I could have used you. Maybe do like a run-in on Hangman or something. Soften him up for me. And MVP told him, we're in the business of hurting people. MJF said, yeah, that's cute. But how about getting in the business of getting me my damn title back? MVP asked Paquette, you might want to leave. He's like, can you go? Can you go? Bobby then takes MVP or MJF and slams him up against a locker. Holds him by the throat and says, oh, yeah, it's always about you. All about you. I. We don't owe you shit. And we're not your lackeys to do your dirty work. He's like, you being in this group? No, thumbs down. Yeah, I don't want you here. I don't want you in this group anymore. And he walks off. Shelton looks at him and is just like, no. MVP then kind of gives him a look, walks off, and then MJF's all by himself, all furious. And I'm just like, we did all of this for them to just be like, we don't want you in the group anymore. Yeah, you're too much of you. What? Like, we got that. We knew that MJF only wanted to be with them because he thought they were going to help him. But it's like, this was a kind of a shitty way to do it. Oh, it's always you, I. Well, no, we don't want you anymore. Like, why did they want him in the first place? I don't understand why Bobby Lashley even wanted him in the fucking first place. You know what I mean? But getting back on track here. The Patriarchy were backstage, saying it all in. They took a big risk by kicking out Cage. Nick said, last week, we spoke from the heart. We were verbally ourselves. We explained what happened. And this week on Collision, we're going to show you why we no longer need to show you why we no longer need a patriarchy and we are uncaged. John Moxley's backstage with Marina Shafir. That Hangman Paige fought the fight of his life at All In, digging deep down to find something he never knew was there. And I'm like, never knew was there? Hasn't he beaten you now twice in a death match? Come on, guy. Moxley said, it was good. Get up and do it again. Tomorrow, the next day, every day. Moxley admits, yeah, I lost. But no reason to be a bitch about it. Why avoid a rematch? As the credits don't roll, the cowboy won't ride off into the sunset. Moxley asked a lot from the people around him, but everyone, they knew that he would do even more. A mistake was made, but it's nothing he can't fix. By the end of tonight, we will find out who the Hangman really is and who the Hangman was that rode out of All In. And like, oh, you want a rematch? But what the fuck have you done to earn it? Is there a rematch clause in your contract there, bud? We don't see that in AEW ever, so no. Esports Gaming Rules with the Bit Donation says, quote, it seems Monae is in Europe, and did you see respond to Instagram post of a fan begging her come back to WWE, and I got a feeling Hangman will lose to Mox, and it will be a long road to Mox versus Darby for the AEW World Championship. So a couple of things here. I don't know what's going on with Mercedes. I don't know if she's in Europe doing something, wrestling somewhere. I don't know, and I don't care. Yeah, I saw the thing because Fightful reposted it. It's stupid as shit. Someone said something like, I want to see you back in WWE, and called it cute or something like that. And then she called the guy ugly and said, why don't you watch AEW? Like, what? Cool. I could care less about any of that. As far as Hangman goes and Moxley next week, if Moxley beats Hangman, it'll be the fucking dumbest thing ever, and I would stop watching AEW. I'm just telling you fucking that right now. I don't care if everyone wants Moxley versus Darby for the belt. No. I legit will not do. If Moxley beats Hangman next week for the belt, I will stop doing these reviews. Because this company would be the fucking dirt worst. It would be fucking it would be, when was Hogan and Bischoff in charge of TNA? It would be that bad. It would be that fucking bad. If Hangman gets a 3-week reign with the belt. No, I do not see Hangman losing to Jon Moxley next week. And I see already people online who don't know what the fucking term never mind. I'm going to wait to go on this fucking rant. Because I got a couple about this match. Esports Gaming Rules, all I'm going to say is, yeah, I'm going to save the rest of that. I'm just going to get too heated, and I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to wait. Will Ospreay comes down to the ring, gives us a little update on his health. Basically, he says that he's dealing with neck issues. He's also dealing with 2 herniated discs that have now bulged into his spine, and he needs to take a little time off. But he hopes, like, this could have been a lot shorter. It could have been just yeah, anyways. Basically, he said that he hopes with rehab and all the resources that he can get through AEW and their doctors that he will be back in time for Forbidden Door, which I want to say is the 30th of August, 30th, 31st. When is it? August 30th. Forbidden Door is August 30th. So basically, he's like, yeah, I got 2 herniated discs in my back. They're pushing in on my spinal cord, and I need to take some time off and do some rehab. Get some work done, and then hopefully I'm back. He thanks the crowd, goes to walk off. Swerve comes out. They hug, they embrace, whatever. Cool. Don't get me started on fucking Swerve. 24th? Is it the 24th? I thought it was the 30th. Was that a weekend off? Oh, it is the 24th. I was a weekend off. My bad. Oh, no. 31st is Clash in Paris. That's what I was getting confused with. The WWE show. That's the WWE show that weekend, the 30th. July 30th. Because when's Clash in Paris? Clash in Paris is that next weekend. All these fucking shows run together. Yeah, the 31st is Clash in Paris. Wait, that's a Sunday? Oh, because Monday they're going to still be in there. Okay, never mind. Xbox Gaming Rule says, did you see Eric Bischoff predicted TNA will overtake AEW when they get their TV deal? Yes and no, that's not quite what he said. Yes, I did see that. I actually retweeted that. But what Eric Bischoff said, so here's what happened. Eric Bischoff was on the Ariel Helwani show, even though he doesn't know his own fucking guy. He's on the Ariel Helwani show and doesn't even know the guy who's interviewing him. You call him Ariel. You know Ariel. No, his name's Ariel. Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani. You call him Ariel. Anyways. So they're talking. about TNA, and then he says, "What's your discourse with AEW? And why do you always say so negative about AEW?" And he's like, "Well, there's this, and Tony's doing this wrong and this wrong." He's like, "Well, they just hit 300 shows on TBS TNT. They've been on longer than Nitro." And Bischoff's just like, "Yeah, cool. That's a participation award. It's whatever. It doesn't really make a difference how long they've been on." Which he's not wrong, but I mean, yeah, they've been on. It's like, yeah, they've been on longer than Nitro. But how long was Bischoff in charge of WCW before Nitro? You know what I mean? Everyone's trying to use that to dog on Bischoff when it's like, it wasn't. Never mind. I'm not even going to get into all that because that's a whole other podcast for a whole other day, teaching people fucking history of WCW. Yes. Did Bischoff fuck some things up? Sure. Did Russo fuck a lot up? Yes. Did the AOL Time Warner merger fuck everything up? They even screwed Bischoff out of buying the company. So, anyways, but what he said was not that, once they get their TV deal, he's like, yes, I hear they're looking for a TV deal, and that'll be great for them. And Ariel Helwani then asked, do you think there's ever a chance when they could become the number 2 and overtake AEW? And what Eric Bischoff said was, actually, I think it is possible within the next year. This time next year. So it's not that Eric Bischoff was just over there ranting saying, oh, I think TNA is going to overtake AEW in the next year. He was asked if he thinks there is a chance. He was asked, do you think there's ever a chance that TNA, with the momentum they have now, could become the number 2 and maybe even overtake AEW? And he said, yeah, there's a possible chance this time next year. So that's what Bischoff said. Again, all you people, and no offense to anybody, you need to go out and listen to these interviews in full because people are clipping them and getting the quotes. And even myself, it's like you can only get so much of a quote or a clip to get as much context as you can. But you need to be going back, like with the Goldberg one. You need to go back and watch the whole thing because everyone's clipping these things and taking certain quotes and whatnot from it. But there's more to it than what Goldberg said. Yeah, Goldberg was pissed off and whatnot about how everything went down with Saturday Night's Main Event, but there was more that he said. Like, no one's clipping that he was praising Gunther and said that was one of the funnest matches he's had in a long time and stuff. But with the Bischoff thing, everyone's making it sound like Bischoff was just on there shitting on AEW. But actually, it was Helwani teeing him up to talk bad on AEW, asking him, why do you talk negative about AEW? You think TNA can surpass AEW? So you got to go and listen for yourself to these interviews. The Ariel Helwani show is free on YouTube, so it's not like you got to pay for someone's Patreon or their service to go listen to their podcast. Don't get me started on some of these now Patreons. We're going to charge you for exclusive news. That's not even fucking new. How are you going to tell people, go to our Patreon for a Karrion Kross Sami Zayn update, and then go, they're going to have another match? Well, no shit, they're going to have another match because Karrion Kross posted a fucking video yesterday saying, I'm not done with Sami. I want to fight him again, and I'm going to keep fighting him until he admits I'm right. But you think you got to put behind a fucking paywall? They're going to have another match? No shit, because Kross already told us they're going to have another fucking match. God. Some of these people that are now creating, they see that Fightful, who does a fantastic job getting news, breaking news, putting out exclusive stories. Now everyone thinks they can fucking do it. And now everyone's got a fucking Patreon for breaking news. No. Like, I think it was bodyslam.net. Oh, there's no indication, put behind the Patreon, there's no indications that The Rock is going to be at SummerSlam. No shit, there's no indications that The Rock's going to be at SummerSlam because no one's teased it. No one's talked about it. No one said anything about it. You think you got some exclusive news there, buccos? No, you don't. I don't pay for your stuff. I just wait for fucking Ringside News to aggregate it, and then I'll read it and then laugh at it. There's a reason we rarely, if ever, aggregate fucking, what is it? Fucking Body Slam. Not trying to dog on them. They got some good people over there. They do good things. But then they're also just randomly putting... Don't even get me started. I could go off on them. Drew McIntyre's winning the Elimination Chamber. That's all I got to say. That's all you got to say. No, that's Sportskeeda. Never mind. They're even worse. Other than they got WrestleVotes somehow. Another fucking one. Go subscribe to our Patreon. We'll give you exclusive news. Yeah, fuck you. We got a video package just basically telling us Tekla is with Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Nate Paquette then interviewed Will and Nightingale backstage. who said that she spent so much time feuding with the Death Riders and Chris Statlander, but there's a lot of good going on in AEW as well, like the new AEW World Champion. Love to see him as the champion. She's all hyped up the Hangman as the champion. And yeah. We already talked to her Syndicate stuff with Max. We got Toni Storm versus Billy Starks. It was an okay, solid back and forth match. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing bad. Nothing like you could talk wrong or say that they messed up or there's no way you can. Yeah, no, the match was fine. It was just fine. That was really it. Athena was watching from one of the balconies, and again, like this building, they got like 1,200 people, not even 1,200 people in there. You're going from 26,000 to less than 1,200. Athena was watching from the balcony as Billy Starks fired off a forearm. A bunch of them actually to start the match off. The brief distraction of her looking up to get approval from Athena let Storm take control here. Storm landed a backbreaker at one point. There was a monkey flip. But the second saw Starks put the brakes on, and my notes froze. Trying to scroll to the next page, and my notes froze. Hold on, let me click refresh. Where was I? The first monkey flip worked fine, but then the second saw Starks put the brakes on. She hit a couple chops and then swept the leg. She went for a tope as well. There's a running senton on the spine as Starks stayed in control before we went to a commercial break. Back from the break, there was Mongolian chops from Storm that led to a Thez press that got the crowd amped up for Storm's comeback. At one point, Starks, though, did avoid a TCM chicken wing, got a face buster and a neck breaker over the knee on Storm for a near fall. At one point, Storm did take control again and hit a sweet cheek music. She looked for the Storm Zero, but Starks got a roll up for a 2. There was then a rebound enziguri from Starks, who wanted her swanton bomb, but Storm got the knees up, immediately sank in the TCM chicken wing, and she taps out. Billy Starks does lose. Storm gets to her feet, and she's posing for the crowd, and she's loving it. She's like, yeah, oh, bah. Starks hits her in the back of the head with the AEW World title. Then she looks at Athena up in the balcony and goes, come on down. Come on down. And fucking Excalibur goes, well, it's going to take a while. That's a long walk from up there. Let's see how long this takes. I think Tony's going to recover. And referee Aubrey Edwards tries to get in Billy Stark's face, so she throws her out of the ring. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? Okay. Eventually, Athena gets down to the ring and she smacks Toni Storm with the clipboard, but she kind of blocks most of it. Fighting on the outside, she's ramming her head into the steel steps. She throws her into the ring. She cracks her again with the clipboard, but Toni doesn't block it this time. Billy Starks then throws Aubrey Edwards back into the ring. And Athena's like, I'm cashing it in. She opens up the clipboard to grab the pen. She's like, I'm going to sign it. And then music plays. And we go, who the fuck is this? Who? What? Huh? Alex Windsor then runs out. Alex fucking Windsor, who they tell us on Collision this week is challenging Athena for the AEW Women's World Championship. What? Let's check Alex Windsor's win record right now. Alex Windsor cage match. Let's see what she's been fucking doing to earn a title shot. If it was a pure title shot or the TV title, sure. All she's done is she beat Taya last week. What? She beat Taya last week on Collision, and all of a sudden, what the fuck? This goddamn Tony Khan. It makes no sense. His booking and who gets title shots and who doesn't, and what's an eliminator match with. Like, this match with Toni Storm and Billy Starks was an eliminator match because it's a non-title match with the champion. So why wasn't Wheeler Yuta and Hangman an eliminator match? You know? Come on. Consistency here. And then fucking Alex Windsor beats Taya Valkyrie. The only win she's fucking got. And might I add, if I'm looking here, I forgot about this fucking one. In Australia, she challenged Athena for the AEW Women's World Championship. Who's still the fucking champion? Oh, Athena. So she's already lost a world title match to Athena. And now she's going to get just another one because she beat Taya Valkyrie. No offense, Taya. But yeah, like what? You trying to make Will Ospreay happy here, Bucko? Give his woman a title shot, even though she lost to the champion. When was that? In February, April, May, June, July, August. 4 months ago. 4 fucking months ago. Again, none of this booking makes sense. It's just match for match sake. All of it. Now, I get the Athena, no, Billy Starks, Tony Storm match tonight. That made sense because it is Athena, who has their version of Money in the Bank, having her minion, her lackey, go soften up the world champion and maybe beat her down enough for me to come cash in. That makes so much sense. But then Alex Windsor of all people, we're supposed to think can beat Athena for the Women's World Championship. She couldn't in Australia 4 fucking months ago. And now we think, oh, this is a new Alex Windsor. She's actually signed to the company. There's a chance. No, there fucking isn't. I will give it a 5% chance on the offshoot that they have Tony Storm screw Athena. That's the only way that this would work. Excuse me. But I don't see this at all happening. Alex Windsor beating Athena. Okay, guy. You got to put on matches that the fans are going to think are somewhat believable when the title's on the line. Like if it was just Athena versus Alex Windsor in a singles match, whatever, sure, cool. Make it an eliminator match. Fine. But I'm 99% sure they said the fucking title was on the line, and I can go look really fast. Let's go to AEW Twitter, because I know they have the graphic on there. Let's go look really fast. Is it an eliminator match, or is it an actual title match? Oh. See, I didn't even see this. Apparently, Will Ospreay was announced for the show before the show went on the air. 20 minutes beforehand. Who the fuck is on social media then? No, you're already over watching goddamn Big Bang Theory waiting for the show to start. Let's see. Alex Windsor, Athena. Here we go. I found the graphic. It says... Nope, I didn't find the graphic. Where the hell is it? Did they delete it? I know this graphic was here this morning. Hold on. Maybe I scrolled too fast. Maybe I passed it. No. Did they delete it? Maybe I gotta go back farther. No, it was here. Come on. Come on. There it is. Yeah, the championship is on. Non-eliminator match is a fucking title match. Why? Why? Yeah, Alex Windsor breaks it all up. Billy and Athena run away, and there we go. You would think, oh, this is going to build to a tag match. It better not. Because if Athena beats Alex Windsor and then it builds to a tag match afterwards, why the fuck would we care? Then we had Swerve Strickland and Hisero. Don't get me started on fucking Swerve. They made this big deal about, oh, well, you know, if Swerve and Ospreay lose to the Bucks, they can't challenge for the world title for a year. And Swerve was not fully into that because he wants to be able to go for the world title. Yet the first thing he fucking does after the pay-per-view is want to go for the unified title. This bloke could have done that regardless if he won or lost. But no, we're supposed to think that this man was all about wanting to challenge for the world title, all about wanting to go for that world title after All In. Oh, we're going to win it all in. We're going to keep our world title shots. And I'm going to go for it. And now he's fucking working Okada over the, you know. Can I just fucking quit now? Like, none of this makes sense. Like, you're going to have a storyline stipulation of these guys lose, they can no longer go for the world title for a year, and that's a big deal. Yet, literally 3 days later, 4 days later, this guy's now in a program for the unified title. Why should we care? When he made a big scuffle about, oh, you better not lose my shots at the world title, when he's not even trying to go for the world title. Come on. What? As far as this match does go, I was fucking bored out of my mind. Hisero worked the leg early on. They scramble around a little bit. They're at a stalemate. There's a chop battle at one point. And Hisero hit the mad scientist bomb. Strickland responded with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, and we go to a break. After the break, they were slugging it out. Hisero did get the advantage here. Don Callis is on commentary, talking up Hisero until, Strickland takes the advantage and hits the gritty. Or however you do that dance, I don't know. There's a high roundhouse kick that connected. And Strickland went up top for a 450 splash, got a 2 off of it. Hisero rolled through a suplex and popped up Strickland with a cross arm breaker into a mystical, or however you say it. I think Callis called it the magic straw. Strickland kicked free and managed to hit a rolling flatliner. He went up top again, but Lance Archer hit the ring with Josh Alexander to shove Strickland off the top rope and disqualification. What? Sure. Brody King and Bandito run out to make the save. They're all fighting. Okada shows up, waffles Strickland in the back with the chair. He's got a big ass smile on his face. Don Callis is all happy laughing. Okada wanted to go for a tombstone on the chair. Strickland escaped free, hit an uppercut headbutt, and then there we go. He wanted to Pillmanize Okada with the chair over his head, but Callis and Alexander made the save. Yeah, I could care less about this. When Swerve's whole thing is, I want to get back to the world title. I want a shot at the world title. Ospreay, you better not screw me here at the pay-per-view and we lose our shots at the world title. And then he just wants to go for this new unified title. What? Because Okada was mad that he beat the Bucks. What? Yeah, no. I hate all of this. I fucking hate it all. This whole whatever they're doing with Swerve is dumb. Because before the pay-per-view, Swerve's whole thing was, you know what? Everything right now is all about getting back to the world title. I don't care about nothing but getting to the world title. Then when Ospreay said, we'll put our shots at the world title on the line, can't challenge for a year, he gets pissed off and says, you better not regret this. And then what does he do after the pay-per-view? Not a word about the world title anymore. Fucking dumb. So then they're talking to Ricochet and the Gates of Agony backstage, and Ricochet's like, I got rid of AR Fox. I ridded this company of him. And I'm like, who the fuck cares about AR Fox? He loses all the time fucking anyways. And then he's like, the Gates of Agony. Oh no, I'll call him GOA. Help me win $200,000. Or they won $200,000. I'm like, did they? That's how little Collision's on my radar. That's how little Collision's on my radar. They had a $200,000 Fatal 4-Way tag match on Collision. And I didn't even know about it. Because they fucking don't announce things for that show. And nobody's tweeting about it. Like, not many, if anybody. Like, Saturday night, this show was on. I was fucking watching the Poirier retirement fight with Max Holloway. Watching goddamn Manny Pacquiao. They did nothing on Collision that had my interest. And then apparently they had this match that they didn't hype up enough. That's the other thing. As much as I'm on social media for my job, seeing, AEW's posting all this, and WWE's posting this, and TNA's posting this, and I'm trying to keep up, and people are sending me things saying, hey, did you see that? Hey, you missed this? Did you see that? Never anything about Collision gets sent to me in my way, if barely ever. But yeah, Ricochet said, put respect on our names, fear us. We're going to take our $200,000 and invest it in winning gold. What the fuck is that? What does that even mean? MJF comes out. He says he's going after that world title. He's like, he doesn't need Bob. He's going to win his title back himself. He says, as far as Hangman goes, Hangman's a hypocrite. MJF will beat him in the ring fair and square. And he doesn't need this contract. He said that world title will come back around my waist. Mark Briscoe comes out, right? And he starts berating MJF. He's like, we're going to keep this like that kosher pickle in your pants. Short. He's like, nobody likes you. Nobody cares about you. And Excalibur goes to say, he's the most hated pro wrestler there is. And Tony Schiavone goes, no, he's the most hated person in the world. And my hand goes like this. And I'm like, he's the most hated person in the world? Then why the fuck was Adam Sandler and Julie Bowens praising him earlier this week, glowingly talking about how much they love MJF, how much they like Max, and how well he did on this movie, Happy Gilmore 2. He's the most hated person in the world, but Adam Sandler and Julie Bowens love him. Just saying. Just saying there, old Shivani. Anyways, Briscoe said, you stole my win at the Casino Gauntlet. Now I want to fight you. You and me next week in Chicago. And MJF goes, whoa, hold on. If you were supposed to win, why did I win? Oh, because you choke under pressure. MJF said, like he always says, I'm a generational talent, the most complete pro wrestler there is today. From the bottom of my heart, Briscoe sucks. And all you are is like these people here from the Midwest. He said that he's not stupid, unlike Briscoe. He ain't here with the dumb Southern accent, missing teeth. He said the fans don't respect him and knew a guy from Delaware were more like them. Why would they appreciate you when they can watch me, though? He said it's depressing that nobody respects Briscoe, but everybody respected his brother Jay. Briscoe then hit the ring when he brought up Jay Briscoe, or Mark hit the ring when he brought up Jay, and MJF ran away. Cool. This did nothing other than we're getting them. We're still going back and forth. Bitch fest. Like, just give me the match and get it over with, because I could care less about MJF or Mark Briscoe. Claudio's music hit, and they told us the main event of the night is Claudio versus Mark Briscoe. It's a fine match. Nothing special about it. Like, we haven't seen this before. It's their first singles match since 2011, though. But since then, they've had countless tag team matches against each other. That's for sure. Because Briscoe's always just randomly thrown into something with the Death Riders. We got some stiff chops. And there's an uppercut battle early on in this match as Briscoe won the exchange, where Castagnoli did respond with a boot. Briscoe blocked a corner charge as they traded overhead chops on the apron until Briscoe went for the eyes and pulled Castagnoli to the floor. Castagnoli avoided a baseball slide, catching an incoming Briscoe with a giant swing into the barricade as things went to the commercial break. Back from the break, both men were fighting on top as Briscoe hit a loud chop, but then dove off the top. Castagnoli met him with a huge uppercut, and then we see Darby just standing randomly behind some people in the crowd, and I'm like, oh, we're supposed to be scared? Is this supposed to be intimidating? And Claudio kind of looks at him and is just like, whatever. Really? He's just like, whatever. Briscoe did kind of take advantage here, though. There was an enziguri that staggered Claudio, allowing Briscoe to hit an exploder for a 2. Castagnoli was booted outside. Briscoe then followed this up with a somersault tope and a cactus elbow off the announce table. At one point, though, Claudio did finally take advantage after Froggy Bow only got a 2, and he reversed a J Driller. Castagnoli raked the eyes and crotched Briscoe on the top rope before delivering an avalanche body slam for a 2. There's anvil elbows that led to a neutralizer attempt, where Briscoe avoided it, only for referee Bryce Remsburg to step between the two, with Claudio getting an eye poke and a charging uppercut. Neutralizer was countered, and then Briscoe cradled him and got the pin 1, 2, 3 out of nowhere. So yeah, this Darby's cool. I'm not trying to dog on Darby. Darby's cool, but Darby, as a guy that the top heel group is supposed to be scared of, he's not Sting against the NWO. I know Tony wants him so badly to be Sting against the NWO that he's just going to show up in the shadows and not speak and just be a menacing figure. But he's not. He's not. At least not to me. And I think Darby's a hella cool guy. I think Darby's badass. But in this role, it's not working for me because we know what it's a play on. We know what he's supposed to be, and he's not. He's not Sting against the NWO. He's not Sting trying to scare Hogan before he beats him for the belt. Especially because their Hogan, John Moxley, don't even got the fucking belt. Speaking of Moxley, him and Marina comes down to the ring. And Wheeler Yuta joins them after fucking commentary's like, I doubt Wheeler Yuta comes out after that beating you took earlier from Hangman. And then he's just there, whole head taped up. Shoot, because he was fucking busted open. Castagnoli slammed Briscoe midsection first. Right onto a chair. Moxley said, Paige isn't a world champion yet, as they just want to make sure everyone isn't getting too comfortable in their new positions. And I'm like, what? Huh? Hangman then power walks down to the ring and said when Moxley said Paige didn't want the death match, they both knew that wasn't true. When Moxley said Paige wouldn't do it again and again, you might have believed that. So Paige will need to prove himself next week. You versus me, Hangman versus Moxley, world title on the line in Chicago. And then only one rule: everyone is banned from ringside. He's like, but I already know your answer. Yes. I'll see you next week, dumbass. Paige power walks out, and then commentary's like, well, it's official. Tony Khan has announced it. It is official next week on Dynamite. Hangman Paige will defend the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley. And I'm like, first off, if we're supposed to think this is any kind of real, they wouldn't have a graphic ready. I hate when AEW does that. When a challenge gets made and seconds later they got this graphic already ready. That graphic's going to take at least 3 minutes, 2 minutes to get together, save it, send it. Because they're going to have somebody, create it. Put it together really fast. Maybe put it together 90 seconds, depending on their computer, how fast their computer is, and their file system. Then you got to take that and you got to send it to the truck. They got to load it into their system. They got to put it. Yeah, no, just saying. But the thing here is they're going from a street fight, a death match in front of 26,000 people to just a straight up singles match in front of less than 1,200. What kind of a step back is fucking that? And then you got these dumb sons of bitches on social media going, well, Darby's going to screw Moxley. They've been teasing that Darby's coming for Moxley, so Darby's going to screw Moxley. Is it everybody is banned from ringside, or everybody except the Darby is banned from ringside? When it says everybody is banned from ringside, that doesn't mean, Darby can still show up and screw Moxley. No, that means he's banned from ringside. But what does banned from ringside even mean, I guess? I guess that right there shows you that when AEW puts a stip like this onto a match, the fans don't even believe it. The fans still think that the stip's not going to stick. Because that's how much the booking in AEW sucks, and the fans don't believe in it, and the fans don't care when they put stipulations on matches. Because all they think is, it's Jon Moxley. Everyone's going to run in. Someone's going to be bleeding. There's going to be fucking haymakers and hell to pay. Like, what the? So... It's like everyone. I'm gonna say it again. Everyone's banned from ringside, but people are over here on social media thinking, but Darby's gonna show up. Darby's gonna get involved. Okay, but if you put the stipulation on it, are we gonna? What we need to do is know what everybody means. Because does it mean, hey, if anybody here we go. This is with the Continental Championship. No matter what, if anybody gets involved, Tony Khan will fire them. If the Intercontinental title, not the Intercontinental, but the Continental Championship is on the line, which is now the unified title, Tony Khan has stated, someone gets involved, they're fired. So putting this stip on this match, does it mean everyone's banned from ringside? And you could get fired, you can get suspended, you can get, there's consequences. Or is it the ref's going to get bumped and someone's going to show up? Because if that's the case, fuck this promotion. If that's the case, this is the fucking dumbest shit ever. Which we already know, it's borderline on that already. This shit is just, the booking sucks. The booking is not good. Why do we need Hangman and Moxley again? Moxley over say, Hangman's not a real world champion. He beats your ass and you tapped out, son of a bitch. So, just saying, I don't get it. And then you could say, Moxley won a match to earn it. But he didn't. Even if he would have, then there's a something there. There at least was something there. But he didn't. He's had one match since the pay-per-view. And he lost. His team lost. So, it's just, none of it makes sense. The booking in AEW hardly ever makes sense. And I'm kind of getting a little tired of it. And then there's these people saying, what if Hangman loses and Moxley gets the belt back? That would be the fucking dirt worst, dumbest thing they can do. Booking this match now is already stupid. But you would think, oh, hey, we got a pay-per-view coming up in about a month and a half. How about we book this for then and we keep building it up and actually make sense why they got to do a rematch? No, just Hangman walks down. You don't respect me as a champion? I'll beat you again next week. Like, no. No. That ain't it. That ain't it at all. So, yeah. It's just, like, I'm not even mad that they're doing the rematch. I'm mad they're doing it now because they haven't built it up. They haven't, and I get it. Oh, it's just coming right off the pay-per-view. Why do you got to build it up? They never ended the storyline. You got to build it up because Moxley lost, and in AEW, they never do the automatic rematch stuff. And so you got to figure out, why does Moxley deserve a rematch? What has Moxley done to earn a rematch? Why does Hangman want to give him this match so bad? Oh, you don't respect me as a champion. Well, I'll prove it to you. Fuck him. Fuck him. With all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Wait. We got polls. I didn't do a Twitch poll. Sorry about that. But we got the other polls. Let's go refresh those really fast. You can see how much almost over it I am with this company. Oh, shit. Yep, people agreeing with me on this one. Not that good of a show. Twitter didn't like the show. Twitter poll was in my... So, geez. No. Threads. Everyone liked this show. 83% liked it. 17 thought it was just all right. Twitter. X. 52% didn't like the show. 33% liked it, and 14% thought it was just all right. As far as the community poll does go, 66% liked it, 17 thought it was all right, and 17% didn't like it. You know what's telling here? No comments. There's always comments on these polls on the community post. None. No comments. Jesus Christ. As far as the live poll does go, 78% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, we will be back live for Friday Night SmackDown on Friday. Tomorrow, I'll go see Fantastic Four, so maybe I'll tell you guys all about that, tell you my thoughts on that, and we'll have a good time. So with that, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid.